What's up, everyone? I'm John Kozak, and welcome to Kozak's Corner. Today, we're talking Team USA at the Ranking Series tournament coming up in Budapest, July 13th through 16th. I'm going to give you two of my top stories to watch for, and the first is 79 kilograms. We got Chance Marstellar, who just shocked the world, beat Jordan Burroughs. He is our world team rep. His bracket, I look at it and man, I look at it like it's like a mini world championships preview. There's 3 guys in the bracket who have beat Marstellar within the past year. And it's really interesting. It's a loaded bracket even beyond that. And so the first thing you want to key in on are the 2 Iranians, Mohammad Nakoti and Ali Savadkoui. Nakoti beat Marstellar last July at a ranking series tournament. He beat him 10-0. And so Marstellar is definitely looking for some revenge there. And Savadkoui, American fans might remember him as the first and only Iranian to ever beat Jordan Burroughs. He beat him back in December at the World Cup. But Marstellar actually holds a win over Savadkoui from that ranking series tournament last July. And Marstellar actually kept Savadkoui from making Iran's world team with that win. So, Marstellar wants revenge over Nakoti, but Savadkoui probably wants some revenge over Marstellar as well. And then there's 2 other guys, Avtandel Kenchadze from Georgia. He just beat Marstellar in February in Zagreb at a ranking series tournament. Bolet Sakayev from Kazakhstan, he beat Marstellar last July. Marstellar got revenge this February, so those 2 guys have gone back and forth. So, Marstellar is a guy who we all think he can win a world title, but the really interesting thing is he's gone to a ranking series tournament, he's gone overseas, and he's yet to come out with a gold. And so this will be a great test for him just 2 months prior to the World Championships. So in Budapest, we're going to see him just against this loaded field, and it's going to be a really good measuring stick to see how he's going to do 2 months from now. So you're going to want to follow Chance Marstellar at 79 kg, but at 86 kg, there's a really interesting storyline we want to key in on, and that is the seeding implications for Hassan Yazdani and David Taylor. We know Yazdani and Taylor, they have maybe the best rivalry in all of international wrestling and all of wrestling, maybe period. They've met in the World Championship finals 2 times. They met in the Olympic finals. And what's really interesting right now is they are seeded to be 4th and 5th in the World Championship bracket in September. And so the way UWW does their seeding, they don't just do it based off of, David Taylor's number 1, he won Worlds last year, Yazdani's number 2. No, they do it off of rankings points. And Yazdani and Taylor, they both haven't wrestled at a whole bunch of tournaments to accumulate points. So they've dropped down to that 4 and 5 seed. And so for those of you who know how brackets work, that means that they will likely meet in the quarterfinals at the World Championships rather than in the finals. And we hear that cliche saying all the time, hey, it doesn't matter when they meet, whoever is the best is going to come on top. Well, as a wrestling fan, you want to see them wrestle at the highest level. You want to see them wrestle in the finals. You want to see them get there where, all eyes are on them. You don't want to see them wrestle in the early rounds. You want to see them wrestle at that pinnacle. And so there's one thing that could disrupt them from meeting in the quarterfinals, and that is the outcome at 86 kilograms in Budapest. Now, Taylor and Yazdani aren't wrestling, but there are 2 wrestlers, Abubakar Abakarov and Miles Amin, who are currently seated behind Taylor and Yazdani. And depending on how they do in Budapest, they could move up past Taylor, and then that would separate Yazdani and Taylor in the bracket. And there's a whole bunch of different scenarios on how all those things could play out. I'm not going to try to explain that right now. I wrote an article about it. You can find that on the site if you're really interested. But we're going to update you on it afterwards as well. But just know that if you're into freestyle wrestling, you're into World Championships at 86, you're going to want to key in to that bracket. And so, those are just my 2 top things that I'm going to watch. There's a whole bunch of other storylines you're going to want to key in. It's July 13th through 16th. You can watch it all unfold only on FloWrestling.org.